Good evening. We are here today from Beulah Heights First Pentecostal Church from New Haven, Connecticut. We are under the leadership of Bishop Theodore L. Brooks, the presiding bishop of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the world. We thank the Lord for being able to present to you today a platform about breast cancer awareness. We realize it's a very, very important subject that needs to be discussed. And we thank the Lord for having two special guests tonight with us. First of all, we have Elder Jacqueline Roberts, the executive director and founder of Nubian Sisters Cancer Support Group here in New Haven, Connecticut. And also we have Miss Janet Brown. And she is the health navigator from Yale New Haven Hospital. Both of these special guests are with us today, and we thank the Lord for having you. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
All right. We
Thank
thank you all for consenting to be with us. First of all, we are going to have, we thank you, Elder Roberts, for being here. Not only is she the executive director of Nubian um, Cancer for the women, but she is also herself breast cancer survivor. She has a survivor story, first of all, that she would like to share with us. And then after she share her survivor story, she wants to give us some information because let me say this. It's very, very important for information to go out there. Because one thing we realize that it is so important that the information get out there about breast cancer. We need to be aware because as women, naturally, we are caretakers. And so often we neglect ourselves that we need to take care of ourselves before we can take care of somebody else. Okay? So we want to be able to give you resources and information so that we can take care of ourselves so we can take care of our loved ones. All right? Okay, Elder Robert.
Amen. To God be the glory for all that He has done. Truly, we count it a blessing to be here on this evening and to share my story. Um, Truly, I give all praises and thanks to God, and I thank our evangelist Billups for inviting me to this program, and also we just thank God for Janet Brown, who continue to work in the community and do the things that she does. I am a two-time breast cancer survivor. The first time I was diagnosed with cancer was 23 years ago. I was diagnosed with third stage cancer on the left breast. And about 8 years ago, I was diagnosed again with cancer on the right side. But the first time I was diagnosed with cancer, I wound up having chemotherapy and a radical mastectomy. The second time when I had cancer on the right side, didn't remove the breast, but I had radiation. I had to have like 33 treatments of radiation. But to God be the glory because I'm still here. Like I said, 23 years later from the first diagnosis of cancer. And I just want to say that at that time, my husband was still with me. He passed in 2014. And it makes a difference when you have a supported spouse or significant other, or even your family and friends that really support you when you're going through. And so I had the love of my husband. And at that time, my children were young, um, but we tried to do things as normal as we could. But when you're taking treatments like chemotherapy, it just, depending on the regimen that you have, um, it can wipe you out totally. And so my day to day care was mostly done by my husband. He cooked for us, and he did everything that needed to be done, because once that chemo set in, then um, there was nothing I could do. It was out of my control. So we just thank God for the doctors and everyone that took part in helping to see that I got the things that I needed and that were necessary for me to heal. But most of all, I knew God, and I knew what God can do. One of my favorite scriptures at that time was Psalms 118:17. I shall not die, but live to declare the work of the Lord. And I promised the Lord, because there were days where I couldn't even lift my arm or lift my head. But I promised the Lord, if you get me up from here, then I will tell it everywhere I go. And from that time, um, I began to tell my story. I come from a large family. My maiden name is Monk, and I come from a large family. I have 8 sisters and brothers, and my mother and father raised over 43 foster children. And so I had a big support system when it came to my family, but also I had the support of my church family, and that made a difference. And when you're going through something like cancer, you need someone to be there for you. You need someone to be there with you. Um, and it makes a difference when you have people that show that they love you and support you no matter what you're going through. And I just love to tell stories about my sisters and brothers, but I don't want to take up a whole lot of time. But I know that my father and mother brought us all up in the church, so we all knew the Lord, and they constantly pray together, because my father taught us a family that prays together stays together. And so, you know, not only did I have my family, but I had the Word of God, and I also had my immediate family. And from that, my husband and I talked, and God laid it in my heart to start Nubian Sisters Cancer Support Group. And I have to say that that group started in 2004. And I just want to read some of the steps that I would share with other people about your healing process, because it's important that you know that the healing starts with you. It starts from within. And so in order to be healed, you have to decide you want to be healed. And that's the thing. When you're going through something like cancer, because most of us thought at that time, and even now, people still think cancer is a death sentence. Yes, it is, because there's not still a cure, but we know that we have a Father that cares, that God can cure anything. He said that He will heal us from all of our diseases. And so, as I said, I learned to learn His word even more, and I had a more intimate relationship with Him. But when you're going through cancer, you have to decide that you want to be healed, and that you have to step into your healing. Um, Stepping requires action on your part. And so there's some movement, there's some things that you must do. And so you have to take action steps. To every action, there is a reaction. And so, number one, you have to learn to pray and meditate on His word. Prayer changes things. Number two, have faith. Reach beyond what you see, because with faith, all things are possible. Number three, believe all things are possible. Four, rest and relaxation. Take time to rest. Take some what we call me time. Take some time out for yourself, because we hear it over and over again that women take care of everyone else, but they neglect their self. So have some me time. Put some time aside for you, and then always think about your body, because your body needs to heal. And so, in order to heal, we need to eat properly, have a well balanced diet. And in our life, we knew that there's some things we might have done wrong. So now we have to make some lifestyle changes. And so those changes begin with you. And most of all, and far most, have positive confessions. Speak life. I will live and not die. You have to believe that for yourself, that you will live and not die. God promised you that He will heal you from all of your diseases, and that there's nothing too hard for God. And so, as you step into your healing, just know that the time is now for you. The healing starts with you. The formula and the prescription has been given. You can do it. So I'm saying to those that might be going through or are cancer survivors in your early stages, believe that you can be healed and you are healed, because the American Cancer Society says that from the day of diagnosis, you are a survivor.
You know what, Elder Roberts? There's a few things that you said that really stuck me. You have to decide to live, and
That's right.
I like that. I shall live and not die.
That's
Other
right.
it's in here. You got to make up your mind. You got to fight to live. I like that. And I thought about that and I said, you know what? The word lets us know. He said, He'll never leave you, He'll never forsake you. And I was impressed where you said about the importance of support. You got to have that support when you're going through, right?
Yes,
Because you're weak, you receive a diagnosis that this, I would imagine it hits you to your gut. So you need that support to undergird you, to hold you up, because you can't stand by yourself. And that's why we need to encourage one another.
yes,
Yeah?
that's true.
Mm,
And it's important, especially when you go to the doctors, that you take
mm,
someone with you, because,
okay.
like you said, at that time you're in shock. You've been
Right.
told that you have cancer, and all you think about is, I'm gonna die.
You'll die. Right.
So
And
you
you
have
probably
already,
can hear half of what they're saying to you, right?
right, and so you already cut yourself off from what's been being
Mm,
said. And I know it has happened with some of the people that came through our support group, that they don't even remember what the doctor said to them when they went, for the examination. But having someone with them, they were able to tell them what was said and what they should do. Because, like I said, your body just shuts down because you're afraid, and so you need someone with you when you go for your different exams.
right. Because yeah, because I would imagine the fear of the unknown, of what's coming down the pike. Um, Not sure. I think one of the ladies from last week said she had no idea what was going to happen. All of the doctor's appointments, and she was just so fearful. So you need someone with you. Let's bring on Brown and with some more resources where she's can help. Also, I was thinking um, how important it is for even with early detection,
Perfect.
right?
Great. I'm giving my little testimony. The Lord is my refuge. The Lord is my strength. The Lord is my fortress. The Lord is my help in time of trouble.
Mm,
Right now, with COVID-19, we are in troubled times. But I thank God I have the opportunity to bring a message of hope to a lot of our women in the community. They find themselves here. They're foreign born. They're without friends. They have to find a way to learn a new culture. Screened for mammograms and pap smears are new to them. And
mhm.
we have the opportunity to educate them and to connect them to services they otherwise would not have the opportunity to fulfill. Even our African American women born here in the United States, we're hearing their testimony right now. They're overwhelmed right now with homeschooling. They're trying to find a way to deal with the chaos of trying to homeschool their children, trying to find a time to make time for their health screening because their jobs may be doing a change right now in terms of their hours. They have a lot of anxiety right now also about the presidential elections that are in front of them. So we're just hearing and trying to help women with a lot of anxieties with our program. We are able, like I said, if you do not have medical insurance, there's a number that you will see at some point during this show that you can call in if you right now find yourself without a job. For some reason you lost your job, you're not able to get insurance. We are here to provide services for you, your annual screening for your clinical breast exam, your annual pap smear and mammogram does not have to fall through the cracks. We are here to take that pressure off your shoulders. We also have what we call the Wise Woman Program for women ages 40 through 64. We provide point of care testing. We check your cholesterol. We check your blood sugar for diabetes, your BMI. And if you are found to have any elevated levels, we can connect you to medication and continue on through the hospital with healthcare providers that will continue to manage. Unfortunately, in our communities, we are disproportionately impacted with obesity. Obesity is also a risk factor for breast cancer. So we, as Jackie said, we have to take time for self-care for ourselves, where we are not taking care of the children or husband or the elderly relatives in our family. We have to be able to say, today is I'm going to keep my mammogram appointment. I'm going to keep my pap smear. I'm going to continue to see my doctor so he can do the physical that I need to check my blood pressure. Those things are very, very important. And programs like this is a resource and a friendly reminder that this is a responsibility that we are going to make as a priority and not let it fall through the cracks. It's very, very important that we watch our weight. We know what our family history is. If the diabetes is in our family, high cholesterol, high blood pressure.
Now, also, I understand that a couple things. You have, for the ones that don't have adequate insurance for their mammogram, I understand you have some free coupons.
We do have coupons available for women if they do not have any medical insurance at all. We will provide that. If they have an extremely high deductible of over $1,200, we'll be able to also help them to get their mammogram and pap smear. Okay. They don't need a physical coupon. They just need to be in touch with the hospital, and we will make sure that they are connected to the services.
Okay, good. And also another thing, they used to have the mammogram van that used to go by, and that stopped. I understand that's going to start back up.
Yes, you'll be hearing about it through the newspaper, over the radio, that the mobile mammography van, they have been able to purchase a new one, and again, it will be in the community, visible for women who have insurance. Women who have insurance can take advantage of the convenience of being screened right in their neighborhood. If you don't have insurance, they also will screen you as well.
All right. And is there any other resources that can help the women? Also, I know I think you mentioned a little earlier about food, the lack of. I know there are churches around the city lately.
Yeah.
I know Beulah Heights,
Right.
have been doing it on Thursdays. And this is a good place to put a plug in there. And I know other churches have, but on Thursdays, Beulah Heights have been given food for the ones that need it. And I'm sure that Bishop don't mind me saying it. They can come out to Beulah Heights on Thursday afternoons after 12. But if they check, it might be a little later, but I know it's after 12, and get food if they need it. If they
Yes.
need.
Women are in need of resources. I have been texting the flyer to my clients from my cell phone
Mhm.
about Beulah Heights' food resource. Also, other churches in the community in different pockets. I have been making sure Hamden O'Keefe Center also is making resources available for women. When other nonprofit associations come into the community with masks, hand sanitizers, these are all things that we text to our clients to let them know that these resources are also available for them. And I know some of the police stations will be doing medication for families who want to discard old medication. They will be having some police stations that'll be available in New Haven and Hamden where you can drop off old medicine and discard it so that your children don't get to it or your grandchildren.
Okay, now how do they find out what days or when they can go to the police stations to do that?
Um, I would Google it because I don't have that schedule in front of me. But I know that I've noticed it on my Facebook and on other social medias that I know that it is happening.
Okay, okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Well, we thank you for that information.
And I just want to add in that my
Yes,
church, so Thomas Chapel Church on White Street in New Haven, also give out food on Wednesdays.
on Wednesdays. Okay, so Wednesdays, Thomas Chapel on
Yeah.
White Street, and on Thursday is Beulah Heights on Orchard Street. And I believe, I think you said Hamden, that's Fridays, right?
O'Keefe Center, correct. Mhm.
Center on Fridays in Hamden. Yeah,
Yes.
so the Lord, one thing about it, the Lord is concerned about his people. And he said that he would provide. God is a provider in
Yes.
every sense of the word, and he will provide for you. And that's exactly what he's doing. I don't care what the situation is, God will provide. He's
I,
worth telling you, he's worth serving. The master is worth serving. I'm telling you. So Elder Roberts, is
Yes.
there any other information that you would like to give us?
Yes. I just want to give a little information about uh, my support group, uh,
Okay.
Nubian Sisters Cancer Support Group. And we normally meet the last Monday of every month at the
Hmm.
Marlow Cancer Hospital. But because of the COVID virus, at this time, we're meeting virtually. And to let you know that a little bit what Nubian Sisters is about, our mission is to provide support to cancer patients, their families, and caregivers, and to eliminate health disparities by targeting the African American minority community. Our goal is to give support to cancer patients, cancer survivors, their families, and the families of those that have succumbed to the disease. We would like to enlighten and educate and make African American women and other women as well as men aware of the many resources and agencies of help that are available to them. Our goal is also to prepare women and men for what may lie ahead of them while trying to dispel some of the fears and myths about cancer. Because we know that, growing up, we were told many things that were not true. Our we might have gotten some of it from our parents, but they only knew what they were told. But we know there's a time when people wouldn't talk about cancer. They thought it was taboo to talk about cancer. But now we talk about it and we try to do something about it. We have to continue to support groups like the American Cancer Society and organizations like that are getting money for cancer research. And they also have a lot of resources for us. And so the help is out there. And we as African American women, we have to learn how to speak up for ourselves, not be afraid to ask questions, because we know, as I said earlier, there's a lot of health disparities where we might not get the information that our counterparts get. So we have to fight for ourselves and learn how to speak up, ask questions, especially when it comes to your body. And Jan sort of talked about the self-breast exam. So we have to remember to do those self-breast exams every month, because you can tell the difference in your body. If you're looking in the mirror and you see something that doesn't look right, then you need to call your doctor about it. But also get to the place where we make sure that's like a ritual, something that we do it. A lot of people use their birthday to do their self breast exams every month. But when you reach the age of 40, make sure you go to have your mammogram done, because I have to say I'm a living witness that it was a mammogram both times that found the cancer in my body. It wasn't a lump. It wasn't any visible sign. I didn't smoke. I didn't have cancer that we know of on my maternal side. But we know now that the fact that I'm a woman, or you're a woman, you know that you're put you at risk for breast cancer. So it's important that you speak up for yourself about things happening to your body.
Okay. Okay. Sister Brown, Ms. Brown, do you have anything you would like to say?
And that is so important. I just had a conversation with a young lady the other day, and I said, please write a letter and take that letter with you when you go into the doctor's office. All those issues, if you're recording your blood pressure and your blood pressure, write it down. Whatever issues you feel you're having, write it down. Bring someone with you, partner with a friend, so that they can help you feel more comfortable, remind you, ask questions, be assertive, because that's your time with the doctor. And we're in a new culture right now, okay? We're doing telehealth, okay? This is a whole new thing, especially for foreign-born women who may not have all the bells and whistles that we have. Phones where you're able to see people, and you're able to talk to somebody, and also someone in the household who's savvy, who knows how to use a computer.
Right.
So there are a lot of barriers right now due to COVID-19 that women are trying to overcome to stay connected to healthcare, and this telemed is one of them, because everybody is not that savvy and not able to handle that. But as Jackie said, it is important to have a support person with you. But I always tell people to write down what your issues are, what those issues you don't understand, side effects or medication, what have you. And a lot of times our women, they'll tell me that they're not taking their medicine, but they won't tell the doctor when they go for the appointment that they're not taking their medicine. And I say, write that down, because that's an issue. That is a major issue. He doesn't know that you're not taking your medication. Like, as you said, Jackie, when you're doing your breast self exams, and we admonish people to do this because then you know what the normalcy is for your body. You know what it feels like. The doctor can go there and, you know, but you really know the ins and outs of your body. So you can say, but doc, this gristle was never here, or this lump was never here, this dimpling, or I've never had a breast that discharged before. So and it is important for us to have these discussions with our women, our young women. Jackie, you have granddaughters, you have cousins and nieces. They develop early. Our African American girls, they develop at an earlier age, and we have to have these discussions with them early to be comfortable um, doing breast self exams, talking about changes that they see and that that they find themselves in, and they need to feel like they can come and they can share it with older women, and we can tell them about some of the risk factors if we know the family history. A lot of times, our young women are getting birth control pills, but I just want to admonish that they shouldn't just be handed them. They got to make sure that the doctor is still doing clinical breast exams, so that he knows that there's no issues. He's got to know the family history behind, if there is, like you said, on your mother's side or your father's side, breast cancer. That may not be an option. There may be something else because of the history that needs to be placed in the lives of these young people, because we see the rise in breast cancer for our African American women for 45 years and under. We have the highest rate African American women right now for breast cancer. And why is that? One reason is that. The other reason is um, some of the things that we find in our perms and our lipsticks. Um, in the cosmetic field, they're making all this nail polish, and a lot of that stuff we're attracted to. But we have to be able to step back and find out how to reduce our risk factors so that we can make our numbers continue to go in the right direction.
Okay. Thank you, ladies, so very, very much. I appreciate all the valuable information that you all supplied for us today. I thank you both for the resources that you both supplied for us today. And again, I appreciate everything you did from the bottom of my heart for the people and the care and the time that you took out from your busy schedule to come onto the platform, and knowing that I'm sure that the ladies and men too, because I think it was mentioned that men also need to get themselves checked, because men get breast cancer too. Um, and if they even find anything, any lumps, they need to get themselves checked. Because sometimes it's a myth that you think just women get breast cancer, but that is not just women. Men get it also. And again, I want to thank you all. And as we always say when we end our broadcast, Lord loves you. That's what he told me to tell you. God loves you, and we love you too. Be blessed and stay safe. Have a good night. Thank you, Jesus.